The walk starts from the Bladebone Inn, Chapel Row. Now on the first path of the walk, which goes across Chapel Row Common. Further along the track across Chapel Row Common, beautiful woodland. Further on, the walk passes between two secluded ponds. That's the way ahead. Now heading along the track towards Bucklebury village. Further along towards Bucklebury, a good view opens up to my left. St Mary the Virgin Church, Bucklebury, an 11th century church. Just out of Bucklebury, the walk joins a small lane which crosses the River Pang. I've now joined the next path of the walk, good view ahead, and you can see the stile ahead. Look at this swirling mass of birds. That's the way ahead. Hello, pig. Plenty of them around here. That's the way ahead. The path has entered some glorious woodland. The walk passes the Pot Kiln pub. Now heading along a bridleway. Good views. Now the walk takes a bridleway on the edge of woodland. The route directions are quite complicated around here. Further along, the path emerges from woodland and there is this glorious view ahead. That is the way ahead there. Superb. I'm about to follow this footpath, which has one of the old style classic Berkshire footpath signs. That's the way ahead. Now at St Denis Church, Stanford Dingley. The church is dedicated to St Denis, who was martyred in 3rd century France. The church mostly dates from the 12th and 13th centuries. The village Stanford Dingley is named after William de Stanford and the Dingley family, who lived here during the Middle Ages. The Bull Inn, Stanford Dingley. The walk crosses the River Pang at Stanford Dingley. Now on a path out of Stanford Dingley, along the Pang Valley, heading towards Bradfield. Great views to my right. Still heading towards Bradfield, that's the way ahead. Heading towards Bradfield, the path runs beside the River Pang. And that's the way ahead. And there's a further view of the River Pang. And that's the way ahead towards Bradfield. And there's a view of Bradfield College. Heading into Bradfield along the path beside the River Pang. Beautiful. St Andrew's Church, Bradfield. This is an early 14th century church. I'm going inside St Andrew's Church, Bradfield. Hello? Still in St Andrew's Church, Bradfield. Here's a view of the tower of St Andrew's Church, Bradfield. Now out of Bradfield, starting back along a path towards Chapel Row. The path goes across a dreaded golf course, but at least it follows this beautiful avenue of trees. To my right there are splendid views over the Pang Valley. Looking back the way I've come, there's a large pheasant in the field. And that is the way I've just come. The walk passes this truly gigantic pig. And that's the way ahead. Now on a path through Stanford Wood. The path through Stanford Wood goes under this bridge. The walk passes through Rotten Row. That's looking back the way I've come. And there's a sign to confirm Rotten Row. Now passing through Tuts Clump, here's the Methodist Church. Now joining a bridleway, heading back to Chapel Row. There are tremendous views ahead. That's the way ahead. Further along the bridleway towards Jennet's Hill and Chapel Row. Joining the road at Jennet's Hill, there's an old style Berkshire bridleway sign pointing back the way I've come. And there's the road. We turn right down here at Jennet. Now nearing Chapel Row and the end of the walk, more good views ahead. Now on the final path back to Chapel Row. Now back at the Bladebone Inn, Chapel Row. And there's the bus stop at Chapel Row for buses to Reading, and the end of today's walk.